All right. Hello, everybody. This is take 2 because I accidentally went on my regular public page. So hopefully you guys can see me. I'm going to make sure I delete my other video in a little bit. But, so hello. How are you? How are you all doing? I'm using new software, so hopefully you can hear me. Everything is good. And we will see. I'm just kind of looking on my iPad here just to make sure. Gotta make sure. New software, and there I am. Cool. So, how is everybody? I wanted to come to you today, for our live Q&A, or weekly live Q&A. I also wanted to talk about a couple things that I'm going to start doing in the group. One of the things is, as you saw one of my posts this week, wake up call. I'm going to do wake up calls periodically, and we didn't get much interaction because I didn't really clarify it too much, but these are going to be posts that I expect interaction, because it's a wake-up call. We have so many people in the group, and we have many that don't interact. They're just here. It's almost like they're collecting groups, which is fine. If they want to collect my group, they can collect my group. But I just want to just let you know, I really want interaction. I want to get to know you guys. I want to have conversations, and I want to have positive communication, and let me know what your insights are and all of that stuff. So I'm going to be doing these wake-up calls periodically. They're not going to be scheduled, because if they're scheduled, then you can avoid them. Method to my madness. So I'm going to be doing that. I'm also going to possibly start, I'm not sure when it's going to start, as I'm going to talk about everyday enlightenment. I am an enlightenment teacher, and everyday enlightenment is kind of my thing. I think that it's really important to search for enlightenment on a daily basis, because enlightenment is not this grand, huge conceptual idea. Okay? Enlightenment is the result of awareness. And I think it's really important. Now, I see we have one person watching. I don't know who that is. I'm using a different software. Hopefully I can get some comments and stuff like that. I may have to open up my group. You know what? Let me just do that. And I can just refresh as I go. We'll see, actually. Let me just do that. I'm going to turn that off. So hopefully I can see comments. We got Alejandra. Hello. So we're talking about what are the things that, thank you. Thank you. I have my comment thing over here so I can see what people are saying. So thank you very much. I just wanted to come in and tell you what's coming on. And today I want to talk about a book that I just finished reading. And it's really awesome. It is really awesome. It's called You Are Enough. Always have been, always will be. And I got this because my new focus is helping people realize that they are enough. And when I was reading it, oh my goodness, there's so many great, sweet little tidbits in here that I want to periodically read them to you. So as I'm reading this, just to kind of be as authentic as I can, as I was reading this, and as I started stepping into this new focus, my life got different. I started going, I always talk about the roommates and the voices in your head and all of that stuff, and mine started peeping up in a big way. And they actually started manifesting physically. So I was in an awful lot of pain last week. as these things were bubbling up, because one of the things, with this new direction of being enough, the enoughness concept, I've struggled with that my whole life. I have, since the earliest moments of my life, I remember struggling with not feeling good enough. I wasn't the preferred daughter. I wasn't the preferred friend. I wasn't the preferred girlfriend. My whole life, this has been a theme. And since I started this new focus, oh my goodness, talk about things percolating to the surface. Big way for me. Big way. And I got some help, because I think it's really important that we reach out when we need to reach out. So if you're struggling with something, reach out. I'm here. Guaranteed I've probably been through something that you're going through, or been indirectly affected by it. So just reach out to me. Let me know what I can do to support you, because we're not meant to do this thing called life on our own. We're not meant to do it. We can try to pretend we're an island. We can try to pretend that we're in this and we're going to be the strong one and we're going to get it done because I can only count on me. That's all fine and good, but that's not what we're meant to do. We are not meant to walk through this life by ourselves. We're not. So I was having issues and I reached out for help. And luckily I'm surrounded by amazing people. So I was able to kind of work through it, and a lot of it came to a head. But so I just wanted to tell that to you, because if you're struggling with stuff like this, let me know. I'm sure I can help you. I found things that have helped me, and so hi Louise, hi Kelly Ray, hi Lori. Oh, okay. Well, hopefully you can get as much as I can. I'm going to read from my book, and then we're going to open the floor to questions. So, but I just wanted to tell you what's been going on in the past week for me. So, without further ado, I'm going to start reading. And this book is great, short little chapters, like a page and a half chapters. So again, the book is You Are Enough, Always Have Been, Always Will Be by David J. Walker. And I'm going to start reading with What's Important About Who You Are. There are more wordsmith here. Take one, take two. There are more self-help books being sold in the world than ever before. These books pursue everything from personal transformation to how to get what you want from a world that doesn't want to give it to you. The sale of these books is a good sign, because it means that more and more people are taking an active role in the development of what they want their lives to look like, instead of just taking whatever comes along and making the best of it. Does that sound like you? I know it sounded like me. So what we must remember is the thing in us that can make our life look the way we want is more important than the changes we are able to make. If we don't make what we are more important than what we do, we will live a lifetime of self-inflicted pressure to perform. The result of this way of living means we not only feel good about ourselves when we are accomplishing something, but we also feel bad about ourselves when we aren't. Not a great way to go through life. And he has these little constructive self-talk things. And so when you feel that way, here's some constructive self-talk. What I am is more important than what I do. Remember that. That's really important. What you are is more important than what you do. So the next chapter is called The Greatest Need. Beyond food and shelter, our greatest need as human beings is to matter. This need usually takes the form of wanting proof that in the midst of this great big world, we've got what it takes, that we are enough. Long ago, and this is the author saying, long ago, I became absorbed by what I thought was life's most important issue, an acknowledgement of the cause and effect spiritual system we live in. I have studied this system, used it myself, and taught others how to use the system to make their lives better. Along the way, however, I realized a very important thing. Even though we can use the cause and effect system to our own advantage, if we are not careful, we get to thinking that we are worthwhile only when we are doing so. What we overlook is the fact that the thing that uses the law of cause and effect is complete, regardless of what it causes or doesn't cause. Every attempt to make your life better is important, but there is something that you need to fully understand first and foremost: you. When you accomplish or don't accomplish anything during your lifetime, your existence is what makes you matter. The simple truth is probably the most important thing to know about ourselves. What we are creating isn't as important as who we get to be while we are creating it. And the constructive self-talk for this chapter is I matter because I exist. And this goes back to my last video. Just because you are special. The simple truth, I don't have to prove anything to anyone. Again, back to my last video. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. Not your parents, not your friends, not your coworkers, not your bosses, not anybody. Because you are enough just as you are. So who am I anyway? I am not my resume, and neither are you. The most important question we can ask, who am I? Let's answer this question by first clarifying who we are not. We are not our bodies, our thoughts, our feelings, our careers, our reviews, our money, our relationships, our accomplishments, our experience in life. We are none of those things. We are that which is aware of those things. We are mind. We are not what we see in the mirror. We are that which is doing the seeing. We are mind. And the mind that we are is complete because it is some part of the sacredness of life. When you put your focus on this simple truth, you have creative freedom. This doesn't mean that your accomplishments are of no consequence. They are as important as you make them. But the key to the happy life is to always make yourself more important than what you do. You are always greater than what you think, what you know, what you have, and what you do. That's why no matter what happens in your life, you are always in a position to start again and create something new. Acknowledge your accomplishments, even praise yourself for having made them, but always leave a small place in your mind where your soul can whisper the following self-talk. I am enough. I am more important than anything I will ever accomplish, for I am the sacred presence of life. It is with my enoughness that I now cause my life to look the way I want it to look. I'm sorry, but that's just pretty powerful. I hope. Oh, hey, Melissa. That's just this book. I'm telling you, this book is freaking amazing, and it's such an easy read. The chapters are really short, and there's all this constructive self-talk, which I may actually end up putting in the group periodically. But it's amazing. It really kind of helps you realize how sacred we really are just because we are alive. Whatever you believe, whether you believe, science tells us that we are made from the stuff the stars are made out of. How pretty special is that? I am made from a star. Come on. That's just pretty cool. When you look at religion's terms, we are children of God. Children of God. That means we are a part of God. How can God not be enough? Think about that. When you tell yourself that you are not enough, you are saying God is not enough. Instead of accepting that you are God and God is you. It's really kind of important stuff here. And I think this, feeling of enoughness goes hand in hand with enlightenment and spirituality and realizing how connected we all are. this journey is going to be huge for me as well. And so I'm hoping as I go on this journey that this can affect you as well. Because it's really, oh gosh, if you have friends or know people who are kind of struggling with feeling enough, I apologize, I have windows open, so we got some cars coming, rush hour. But if you know anybody who could benefit from these teachings of being enough, anybody who's struggling with not feeling worthy or living their life in shame, please send them to my group. This group is for not just me and not just you, but it's for anybody who's seeking for a different level of information. I've talked about it before. Responsibility is a big thing. You have to put your effort into the work. There's no magic tricks out there. And, hopefully I can provide you the tools to help you realize that you are just enough, just as you are. And there's no way, and you can expand all you want, you can learn all you want, you can do all that. That's all stuff is great because it all makes us better human beings. But as you are right now, in this moment, in this very moment, you are perfect the way you are. You are a child of God. You are made from stardust. That's pretty special. So I just wanted to start. Yeah, it's still light on my end. I'm just reading some of the comments. Yeah, it's about 4:49 my time. And it's very hot here. I don't know what the temperature is there, but luckily it's dropped down about 10 degrees from yesterday. We were nearly 100 yesterday, but Fahrenheit. And now we're about 82, 84, 85, somewhere around there. But anyway, so that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about today. And if you have any questions, I'm opening the floor to you now. If you have any questions about any of this stuff, I'm using new software, so I'm not sure how many people are still here. I see lots of posts, but I only see a number 2. So I know there's people here. I just don't know who is still with us. So if you have questions, let me know. I'm here. I'm available to you, and I want to contribute to your growth and to your journey. So is there any questions out there? Anybody want to say hi? I mean, we can, actually, you can ask me anything you want. This is an Ask Me Anything, video. So, if you have any questions about the group, have any questions about me, have any questions about my new topic, my new focus, anything that's been on your mind lately, what you want me to touch on, please feel free to, ask, because I'm here. And I'm here. And this is when it gets awkward because you wait for people to ask questions. So this past week has been tough. And so I'm feeling anxious about my job. Okay. So what's actually making you feel anxious? Is it your contribution to your business? I mean, I've seen some of your stuff. Your job. Okay, so this is outside of what you've been doing recently. Is this like a day job? Or is this about what you've been working on the last few months since we've met each other? So, I mean, it's normal to ask, okay, yes for what? Yes for a day job? I know there's probably a delay, so I apologize if I'm not seeing your comments right away. If it's your day job, then you have to kind of lay out a plan. Yes, for years. Okay. You have to lay out a plan for yourself. If you are, I know you're going into a different journey, which I've been honored to see you follow. You need, if you have faith in that, and you're starting to be able to pay your bills with that, then you got to ask yourself the question, what's got to give? If you really feel passionate about your new direction, if you feel really passionate about helping the people that you serve, and you are starting to be able to pay your bills, then you weigh out and then you time it. You know, every time we have to make a huge decision, especially when it comes to jobs, you know, leaving something you've been at for a long time, or whether, you know, you just have to weigh out. Okay. Well, you just weigh out the pros and the cons. If you were to leave tomorrow, let's say you could snap your fingers and you walk in and you say, I'm done. What would be the pros of that? And what would be the cons of that? Like, what would be the negatives? Would you still be able to pay your bills? Would you be able to put food on your table? Would you be able to serve your family and yourself appropriately? If you were to leave, if you could do that, then you can't afford it. Okay, so we have to plan. You have to plan a strategy of what is going to be the best time for that. So what I would recommend, apologies for the car. What I would recommend, and there is a process that I have done, and I've done with other people, that is an amazing process. And it's called the Clarity Through Contrast process and the desire statement. So what you do, especially in these, because these are tough decisions, especially when, you know, it has to do with financing, you know, being a single mother and being able to put food on the table. So what you do in the first part, the Clarity Through Contrast, is you write a list. Things I don't want, things I do want. And like, take a piece of paper. I don't have a piece of paper here. I'd show you to you. Take a piece of paper, fold it in half, write on the top of one side, things I don't want, and things I do want. And write out those things. Write out, I don't want to be disrespected by my coworkers. I don't want to work past 5. I don't want to, you know, all of the things that you don't want. And then on the second column, the things that you do want. I want to be home for dinner every single night. I want to be able to spend time with my children. I want to sleep in. I want to be respected. I want to be looked at as a leader. So you write all those things down, and then you write a desire statement. And I don't have there's a formula. There's a question or a couple things, and I can put this. You know what? I'm going to put this in the group, so you guys can have it, because this is really, it has changed the lives of several of my clients. So I will put that in the group for you. But the desire statement is basically, you take all the things you do want and you create this long statement, and you fill it with emotion. You fill it with sincerity. And then you say it to yourself every single day. And that is, hi Brenda, and that will actually help you raise your vibration so you can have your eye focused on what you do want. And then you can kind of work your way out of what you don't want. And I promise you, your life can change drastically. I actually had one client, and her whole life changed within a month, span a month. But here's the thing: she did the work. She did this desire statement. She did her what she doesn't want, what she does want, and she did the work. Yes, okay, so I will, what I'll do is after this video, I will put that together for you guys. I will put it in the file section, and then I will tag you. I will tag you, Alejandra, so you can get that, because I promise you, it's gonna blow your mind. It's gonna blow your mind. And if you really want help walking through it, you know, just private message me, and we can set up an inspiration session for you, and we can chat, and we can just do that for an hour. We can do that. And I'm giving this to everybody. If you haven't already had an appointment with me, everybody in the group gets one free session. Okay? So if you haven't had a session with me and you would like a session with me, please private message me. I will put a link up at the top of the video once we're done, and you can directly sign up for an inspiration session for me. But, thank you, Alejandra. I really think this is going to help you, because I know your heart is in the right place, and that is the first step. That is the key to really getting the change going, and really stepping up and making the changes necessary to get out from what you don't want to what you do want. So, so I will do that, and you all are welcome to it. And again, if you want a session with me, just hit me up, and I will, and we'll chat for an hour. So, do we have any other questions? So we have, looks like we have a couple people. I know Brenda's here, Alejandra's here. I'm not sure if Lori and Melissa are still here. If you're still here, you know, pop me an emoji. Pop me an emoji. Tell me, yay, thumbs up, heart, whatever. Just so I know you're here. Again, this is a new software, so I don't see everything that I used to see with the Facebook Live. If you notice, I have my little logo at the top, and I have my little, Facebook group thing. I'm still playing around with it. How am I feeling? I am better. I had been processing a lot of stuff. Last week I was in a lot of pain. It was weighing on me in a lot of different ways. Emotionally, physically, everything was tiring. But I'm doing much better. I did have like I said earlier in the video, I did reach out for help, and I asked one of my dear colleagues to help me, and she did. And thank you. Thank you. Thanks for the hug, Lori. And thank you, Alejandra, for saying, yeah, it looks pretty cool. It's called Ecamm Live. So if you are Mac-based, it's Ecamm Live. Which is pretty cool. But anyway, so, yeah. So, it's better. It's better. I'm not hunched over. I'm not, like, lying on a heating pad, so I'm feeling much better. So thank you very much for asking. Any other questions? We still have a few minutes left, and, I want to be able to, answer anything that you guys are wanting to ask. And I apologize if I keep looking at my screen, because I got my big head in front of me, but the camera's like up there. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you. Yeah, so any other questions? Any other questions? And I hope you liked my last video. That was my first rant video, because you're going to hear me rant a lot more. Because I got a lot of stuff that I gotta get out. So it's gonna come, and it's gonna come, and then I'll read more of this book probably as we go. But if you ever get a chance to buy this and pick this up, I'm telling you, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's such an easy read. It makes it so simple to understand, and it really helped me through this week. It really did. So hopefully it'll help you. I did buy a couple other books that I'm going to start reading. One is called Everyday Enlightenment from Dan Millman. And hopefully that will eventually come in. Oh, you love, thank you. I actually love doing it. I mean, sometimes I get these thoughts in my head and I have to get them out. I have to get them out.
So apologies. If you want to join my group, come on over.
There we go. Something happened there. I think my computer decided to go to sleep. But yeah, so going to look for the book. Yeah, it's awesome. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I just found it. I just did a search. I was looking for books on being enough, and I found it on Amazon, so I bought it. But yeah, so I got all my books here, and so you're going to start hearing some ranting. You're going to see some of the books, because, as I grow, I keep telling, we're all in a state of change and transformation our whole lives. We're never going to be done expanding. We expand infinitely. And there's always more things to learn, and there's always more things to process and work through. And you know what? Unfortunately, and I say this because this is what happened to me this past week, is the demons and the gremlins and the roommates and all of those voices that are in our head, they pop up at the most inconvenient times. So they're always going to haunt us. And we're always going to have to work on them again. So being able to grow and expand it's our right, and it is our purpose, I think. I think we're all meant to grow, expand, and, live with an open heart. I've said that before. We're supposed to expand. We are these spiritual beings that have no, there's no end to infinity. We are infinite beings, but we are living in a finite life right now. And, our spirits need to kind of burst out of our little boundaries. So it's really important to invest in yourself, whether it's investing in yourself monetarily, whether it's investing in yourself time-wise, whether it's, compassion-wise. We are worth everything that we can do for ourselves. We are so worth it. We are worth pushing and growing. We are worth it because that's what we're meant to do. So as soon as I'm up and feeling good, bam, they pull me. Oh yes. Oh, they do it all the time. Oh my gosh. They're relentless. They are relentless. They are relentless. But you know what? We can curb them and we can silence them. We'll never get rid of them fully. Some of them we can push aside so they're not even close to bothering us. But they are a part of our experience. And I'm big with the law of allowing. We have to allow, just as we're supposed to allow others to be who they are and to be on the path they are, we have to allow ourselves certain quirks. We're human. We're spiritual beings living in this human existence, and we have to relate on a human level, because that's why we're here. We're here to learn and grow. So, they're going to be there. Everything that we go through in our lives, every experience, good, bad, ugly, horrible, whatever, every experience becomes part of us. And we take that with us. When we leave this existence, we take those experiences with us and we move on. And we continue to grow once we leave this body. So, being able to kind of curb those, that's going to be your job. Unfortunately, it's going to be your job. Because that is one side of your brain. I just watched a video today. I guess it was a book called the Stroke. I can't remember the name of it. But it's about a neuroscientist that actually had a stroke, and how she, and her story about that, and how she was able to kind of witness her brain as she was going through a stroke. She goes, how odd is that for a neuroscientist to be able to see their brain from the inside out? And she realized that when her right brain was active, there was no boundaries. There was nothing. Everything was kind of like the boundaries were all blurred, and we were so connected, and she was part of the atoms of the wall and all that stuff. But then when her left brain kicked in, that's when it was like, oh, I'm different now. I am separate from that. And we have to realize that as long as we have these two hemispheres in our brain, we are going to have that little tug of war. And the more we lean towards the right side with, feeling that connection, the more we can break out of the boundaries, at least energetically or emotionally speaking, that our left brain tries to keep us in. If that makes any sense. I know I'm not a brain scientist. And I tried to paraphrase as best I can, but it's that is what it is. So those voices are all in the left hemisphere. I'm here on my right, but it's I'm pointing your left. Mirror image. Not mirror image, so so that's that. Any other questions? And we can end up closing this video. I hope I've given you a lot of information. I know I've been rambling a little bit. I'm on my hot porch with a fan on me. So I hope I've been able to give you some value, and I've been able to expand you a little bit. Because I expanded this week, so I just wanted to share that with you. So anybody have any last minute questions, and then we can close up. Okay, great. I love all these thumbs ups. I don't see those little icons that come across in this software, so seeing the little emojis, that's really good. You're very welcome. Oh gosh, thanks Melissa. Thanks Brenda, you're very welcome. I'm glad you're able to join. And so if we don't have any other questions, I'll give you another minute, and I'll just keep talking. And then if nothing goes through, we will close for today. And I hope to really start coming in a little bit more often. This will still be here every Wednesday. We'll still be here. Next Wednesday we'll be here at 4:30. But the Wednesday after that, I'm not sure because I'm going to be working again. So, So at least we got one more week this month, and hopefully I can come in again. I am going to be doing the live planning on Sunday. I'm doing that every 2 weeks now. So if you would like to join me, I'd love to have you. And, depending on attendance, it may end up going away. Because why waste my time and waste yours if it's not going to be of help to you? I know that sounds kind of cold, but, the last few planning calls, I barely had anybody. Actually, 3 of them, I had nobody and talked to myself for a half an hour. So I'm thinking that it might not be what you guys are looking for. So Sunday will be here, Wednesday will be here, and maybe I'll pop in another time in between. I'm going to try to, pop in with some great little things and some practices, everyday enlightenment stuff, and hopefully that'll all help you. So if that is that, we're going to end, and I will see you all either Sunday or Wednesday, and in the group. So interact. If anything comes up during the week, pop it in the group. And I will be there to answer any questions, in comment mode. So I guess that's it. So have a wonderful day, people. Wonderful night, depending on where you live. It looks like so far we have mostly people who live in America. I'm not sure if Louise is here. She's in Germany. So good night to her. So we'll see you soon. So, as always, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and walk in love and light. And I look forward to seeing you in the group. Bye-bye.